The main focus of Lesson 12 is to be able to remember and apply the order of operations. As a component of that, really the first step, essentially, is our other goal, which is to be able to recognize symbols of inclusion. So over here, I've got the 4 symbols of inclusion that you will see. These top 2 are what you're going to deal with the most often. They are parentheses and brackets. Braces are usually reserved for notating sets, and so we have practiced that, notating sets using these braces. And bars are typically reserved for fractions, so a fraction bar. Our order of operations can most easily be remembered through the acronym PEMDAS, or PEMDAS. The traditional way to remember this acronym is through thinking, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. However, I have become aware that there is a PEMDAS dance, and I will spare you from having to watch me dance. But if that interests you, feel free to look it up if that helps you to remember things. And if you would like to learn the dance and perform it for the class, there could be some extra credit on the next test. So talk to me about that if you're interested. Anyway, so what PEMDAS stands for in terms of our order of operations, the P stands for parentheses, but really it's any symbols of inclusion. So again, typically it will be parentheses or brackets. Okay, so P stands for parentheses. The E stands for exponents, which we will deal with a little bit later down the line. So we can just kind of keep that on the back burner for now. MD stands for multiplication and division. And really that's a group. So I chose to underline this to show that it's not as though we do all of the multiplication first and then all of the division. It's from left to right. Any multiplication or division we see, that's the next step. So it's really parentheses or symbols of inclusion, then exponents, then multiplication and division, and lastly, addition and subtraction. So once again, addition and subtraction go together. So you'll see how this works in practice when we get to our sample problems. Okay. Order of operations, a few key things to know. The first, and this is kind of what I was talking through, first step is to simplify within any symbols of inclusion. So that's the P in PEMDAS, parentheses or symbols of inclusion. So you simplify within those first. Next, if the expression is a fraction, you will simplify the numerator fully, and then you will simplify the denominator fully. And then your last 2 steps, but I chose to combine them, are to multiply and divide from left to right, and then add and subtract from left to right. So a couple of examples so we can see how this works in practice. So I'm going to start with this example in blue here. And step 1 is to simplify within symbols of inclusion, so within parentheses. So for example, within these parentheses, I have 3 plus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and solve 3 plus 2, which is 5. And I'm going to rewrite this as 4, keep the parentheses. But now I've simplified what is inside the parentheses. And I'm going to do that over here as well. So I'll copy the minus 5 parentheses. 6 minus 3 is 3. This is not a fraction, so I can skip step 2. Next, I'm going to do any multiplication or division from left to right. So we've got 4 times 5 is 20. I'm just going to copy the minus sign for now because that'll be the last step. And then 5 times 3 is 15. Lastly, I'll do any addition or subtraction from left to right. And all I have left at this point is 20 minus 15. So my answer is 5. And this is the kind of work that you should show step by step as you work through your order of operations. Looking at this slightly longer example, we'll work through the same process. So first, I'm going to look for any symbols of inclusion and simplify what is inside them. So I've got 5 parentheses, negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. So I simplified what's inside these parentheses. I'm going to copy plus 7 and simplify what's inside our next set of parentheses. So negative 5 plus 9 is 4. And then I'll just simply copy the plus 2 for right now. Then in the denominator, in parentheses, we have 4 minus 2, which is 2, plus 3 plus 5. Okay, now that I have simplified within all of my symbols of inclusion, I'll move to step 2. This expression is a fraction, and so I'm going to fully simplify the numerator and then fully simplify the denominator. So I'm going to start with the numerator first. And I'm going to do any multiplication or division that I see from left to right. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10, plus 7 times 4 is 28, and then we've got plus 2. I'm going to keep going to simplify the numerator by doing any addition or subtraction that I find from left to right. So I've got negative 10 plus 28 gets me to 18, plus 2, the numerator simplifies to 20. Next, I'll move to the denominator and simplify that by looking for any multiplication or division. I don't see any. All I see is addition, so I'm going to go ahead and just do the addition. 2 plus 3 plus 5 equals 10. And now I will write my numerator over my denominator, 20 over 10, and that simplifies readily to 2.